Back with today's family, talking about the effect labeling our children can have on them.
Whether your child's a math genius or a star football player, praising them for being smart or athletic may actually do more harm than good in the long run.
So what should we say to our kids? Bettina Bush is editor-at-large for Working Mother magazine, and Dr. Eileen Kennedy Moore is a psychologist who has a new video series called Raising Emotionally and Socially Healthy Kids. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Welcome,
sure
ladies. Welcome.
Well, look, everyone's got their label up. Let's see.
Yes.
Okay, so you were known as...
I was chatty.
You were chatty.
I was smart.
And I was hyper.
And I was energetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so when sometimes, especially when parents are trying to distinguish among their children, they'll sometimes say, "Oh, this is Billy. He loves football," or "She's so smart." I mean, it doesn't seem so harmful when they all seem like positive labels. So
yes, when they're positive, where's the damage done there?
So what happens is sometimes adults don't really understand the weight of their words on children. And children can take a label like that and they can decide, oh, this is all I am. And they feel like they have to live. Yeah, they're defined by that. Right. They have to live up to that label and it limits them. If somebody's defined in the family as the athlete, oh, so your sister can't be athletic too? Sometimes it places limitations on the child rather than allowing them to explore their possibilities.
In my mother's family, there were 3 sisters, and somebody once described them as the smart one, the pretty one, and the funny one, and offended all 3 girls.
Oh, wow.
Nobody likes to be pigeonholed.
But you can be all 3 of those.
Absolutely.
Look at Hoda. You get me. Now, I will admit, we called Cassidy since day one, Chatty, Messy Machini.
Yeah.
Because you've never seen a messier child in your entire life. But it was always affectionately, but have I done irreparable harm to my child? She's turned out darn sweet.
I would not say you've done irreparable harm to your child, but what we do see is that when labels are affixed to a child, they tend to feel like they need to live up to that label.
Oh, she does.
So you want to give them room to change. If you call a child messy, maybe they feel like, oh, well, I'm just messy. And they don't necessarily see the reason why they need to work at doing something different.
But you do grow into it because I was messy and I'm now totally and completely a mess.
Well, even positive labels can have a burden. We know from research that when kids hear you did well because you're smart, it can hurt their performance, it can make them less willing to take on challenges, it can even make them more likely to lie, exaggerating about their performance. Because they don't want to mess up their reputation for being smart.
Oh.
So what we want to emphasize is the process, is things that are in the child's control, like their effort, their strategy, or their perseverance.
Well, go ahead.
Well, kids are a lot of things, though. I mean, we call Cass Messy Machini, but we said she's our actress because that's what she's always wanted to be. Or, I don't know. I think
you have lots of labels.
Lots of different things that are just reflective of what is actually true about the child.
Right. We want to give children room to grow. That's the key thing. The miracle of children is that we really don't know how they're going to develop and change.
Well, sometimes teachers do that. They'll say, oh, he's the class clown. Or those. If you're in school and you realize that your teachers are labeling your child, that can really be an issue.
Yeah. So if it's a positive label, you just kind of want to thank your lucky stars and move on it. But you do have the conversation with your child and talk to them about the fact that, it's great that your teacher called you smart, and what's really important, what Mommy is really proud of, is the fact that you put so much effort into your schoolwork and you try so hard. But then if you do get a negative label like class clown, you pick up that phone and you call the teacher and you talk to the teacher and you have a conversation, because what you want to do is encourage the kind of behavior that can change that label.
Right. And yet we've interviewed so many people through the years here that have been called class clown, who then became some of the greatest comedians in the world because they could not be contained. They were that class clown. So you got to be careful, I guess.
The key thing is we want to be our children's biased biographers to tell stories about how they struggled and then triumphed.
Okay, ladies, thank you very much.